I am presenting on the industry-sponsored multi-center trials with CAR T targeting BCMA and multiple myeloma. I think it's been very exciting. There's certainly been a lot of work already done at some of the major academic centers that we will hear from my other colleagues. But with the industry-sponsored ones, it's been important to show that access to patients at a multi-center level is feasible, and that we're also seeing very exciting responses so far. In the US, BB2121, which was it's Bluebird Bio and also now part of Celgene, has the most results to date. In addition, Nanjing Legend from China that had presented data about the same time, and it now Janssen has taken that technology and gotten the IND approved in the US and has an actively accruing trial as well. But along with that, there's been numerous protocols that had opened late last year, earlier this year, and hopefully we'll see some of the data emerge in ASH in a few months later this year. Generally, what we've seen so far in these BCMA CAR T trials is that the responses have been very impressive in terms of VGPR or greater rate of best response. We've also seen, as reported at ASCO earlier this year, that in these patients that are heavily pretreated, the median progression-free survival is almost 1 year, which is very impressive in this setting. And for those patients that had achieved MRD negative, the deeper response, the median progression survival is even longer than that at 17 months or so. So we're very excited with even just this generation of CAR T and what it could offer for patients. With the current active ongoing other industry-sponsored trials, there's a lot of innovations too coming down the pike in terms of different CAR constructs that might work even better or might help with management of toxicities. We're also seeing attempts at manipulating the composition of the T cells that could impact their functionalities. So it will be interesting to see if these trials indeed show even better responses. In the BB2121 CAR T, the CRB401 trial, many of these patients had very, very poor prognostic features. They've all had stem cell transplant. Those who were eligible to get transplant as part of their treatment, and over a third of them are refractory to all 5 of the FDA-approved drugs for myeloma, both generations of the proteasome inhibitors, the IMiDs, and the CD38 antibodies, and close to 40% of these patients had high-risk cytogenetics as well. So despite that, these patients all had responses to the BB2121 CAR T treatment. The overall response rate was more than 83% in the patients who received the active doses. And as I mentioned earlier, the median progression-free survival is close to 1 year, which in this stage of their treatment is quite impressive.